Before we begin, I want you to slow down with me for just a moment. Not because something is wrong, but because most of us move through life without ever pausing long enough to listen to ourselves. So wherever you are right now, take a breath. There is a quiet question I want to ask you. And it's not a comfortable one. Have you ever felt like the life you want is right there, but somehow, you never fully step into it? Not because you don't know what to do. Not because you're incapable. But because something inside you hesitates. You plan. You dream. You even feel motivated for a while. And then, you stop. You delay. You distract yourself. You tell yourself stories that sound logical on the surface. I'll do it later. Now isn't the right time. I need to be more ready. And slowly, without realizing it, you become the one standing in your own way. This is exactly what the mountain is you talks about. It doesn't say the problem is your lack of discipline. It doesn't say you're lazy or uncommitted. It says something much more honest. That the mountain you are trying to climb is not outside of you. It's not your circumstances. It's not other people. It's not bad luck. The mountain is inside you. And the most important thing you need to know is that this mountain is not your enemy. It was built by experiences. By moments where you had to protect yourself. By times, staying small felt safer than risking pain. So if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever wondered why you repeat the same patterns, if you've ever blamed yourself for not trying harder, this book asks you to stop blaming and start understanding. Because once you understand why the mountain exists, you stop fighting yourself. And that's where real change begins. Now that we've opened the door, let's talk about the word that makes many people uncomfortable. Self-sabotage. Most of us hear that word and immediately think something is wrong with us. Like we are our own enemy. Like we are the problem. But the mountain issue asks us to look at self-sabotage from a completely different angle. It explains that self-sabotage is not self-hatred. It is self-protection. At some point in your life, your mind learned that change was dangerous. Maybe when you spoke up and were ignored. Maybe when you tried and failed publicly. Maybe when you trusted someone and got hurt. So your nervous system created strategies to keep you safe. Procrastination. Overthinking. Avoiding opportunities. Staying in familiar situations, even if they're uncomfortable. Because familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar growth. Your brain doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about survival. And this is where compassion changes everything. Because the moment you realize your resistance is not weakness, you stop attacking yourself. You stop saying, "Why am I like this?" And instead, you ask, "What is this part of me trying to protect?" That question alone softens the mountain. When we fight ourselves, we grow tired. When we understand ourselves, we grow stronger, quietly. This is why forcing motivation rarely works. And why gentle awareness creates real, lasting change. One of the most honest truths in the mountain is that we don't repeat patterns because we want to suffer. We repeat them because they are familiar. Your mind is wired to choose what it recognizes, even when it no longer serves you. This is why someone can leave a painful situation, only to find themselves in another one that feels strangely similar. Different faces, different details, but the same emotional story. Because the lesson was never fully understood. Brianna Wiest explains that our emotions are not random. They are signals. Anxiety is asking for safety. Anger is asking for boundaries. Sadness is asking to be processed, not ignored. When we don't listen to emotions, they don't disappear. They turn into behaviors, habits, patterns. This is how emotional pain becomes self-sabotage. Not because you're broken, but because your emotions were never given permission to speak. Awareness is the moment the pattern begins to loosen. The moment you notice, I've been here before. You're no longer trapped. You're awake. And awareness is the first step up the mountain. There is a quiet misconception many of us grow up believing. That change requires force. That growth demands discipline, pressure, and constant motivation. But the mountain issue gently explains why this approach exhausts us. Because willpower is not the problem. Misalignment is. When your actions don't match your values, your mind creates resistance. Not because it wants to stop you, but because something inside you feels unsafe moving forward. This is why you can want something deeply and still avoid it. You don't need to become stronger. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become more honest. Honest about what matters to you. Honest about what you're ready for. Honest about what no longer fits the person you're becoming. Alignment feels calm. It doesn't rush. It doesn't shout. It feels like relief. And when your identity matches your direction, progress stops feeling heavy. It starts feeling natural. There is a moment in the mountain issue that changes everything. It's when you realize that the mountain was never meant to be removed. It was meant to be understood. The fear, the hesitation, the resistance. They were not signs to stop. They were invitations to look closer.
Action.
Because when you stop fighting the mountain, it stops feeling so heavy. You begin to move differently. More gently. More honestly. You don't rush transformation.
Okay, Leia.
You allow it. One choice at a time. One boundary. One moment of self-respect. This is how change lasts. Not through dramatic breakthroughs, but through quiet consistency. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this book, it's this. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are learning how to climb yourself. And that takes courage. So be patient with your process. Be kind to your resistance. And trust that the mountain is shaping you into someone stronger, calmer, and more aligned than before. There is a moment in the mountain issue that quietly changes everything. It's when you realize that the mountain was never meant to be removed. It was meant to be understood. So many of us spend years trying to fix ourselves, to push harder, to silence fear, to overcome resistance. But what if resistance is not the enemy? What if it's guidance? Every time you hesitate, every time you pull back, something inside you is asking to be acknowledged, not judged, not forced. Under every habit you struggle with, there is a need that was never met. Under every delay, there is fear that was never made safe. Healing doesn't happen when you conquer yourself. It happens when you listen. This is how the climb becomes lighter. Not because the mountain disappears, but because you stop carrying unnecessary weight. You begin to move with yourself instead of against yourself. And slowly, almost quietly, you change. The real transformation doesn't happen while listening to this video. It happens tomorrow morning. In the small moments. When you pause instead of reacting. When you choose honesty over comfort. When you stop abandoning yourself to please others. Brianna Wiest reminds us that growth is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't rush. It feels like clarity. Like choosing differently, even when no one is watching. Becoming the mountain means becoming grounded. It means trusting that you don't need to force your life into shape. You need to align with who you already are. And that alignment begins with compassion. For your past self. For your coping mechanisms. For the version of you that did the best she could with what she knew. You are not behind. You are right on time. Learning the lessons your soul needs most. And every step you take with awareness reshapes the path ahead.
If this resonated, stay with us. More books, more lessons, more quiet transformation, right here.